do my intro and then we'll get started, okay?
Oh, we're on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're on camera.
All right.
What's happening, everyone? Look who I have next to me. We brought him back for another video. The one and only Uncle Harley. He came back for another one. If you're new to my channel, my name is Max. This is my Uncle Harley. Harley is a psychologist. I am a communication skills coach, and I've been reacting to BTS now for about 2 years. I brought this man into one of my videos a few weeks ago, and the outpouring of love and support and encouragement was outstanding. And it was just a really cool experience for both of us. So I said, you know what, I got to fly back down to America. That's where he lives. That's where we are right now. I'm from Canada. And I said, we got to shoot some more content together. So here we are. Yeah, man, you were saying you...
I'm saying I'm excited to be with you. That's what I'm saying. This is nice. Really fun. And I got to tell you that one of the motivating factors in returning and doing this is the overwhelming support that Army has shown both you and me.
Yeah.
And I was extraordinarily impressed with the kind comments and wonderful things they had to say about both of us. So thank you for having me back.
For sure, man.
And
it's my pleasure. I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it together.
Love it. Okay. Let's get right into this, guys. I'm excited for it. Festa 2019. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Woo! Oh, yeah. No? There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
I realize you're just going into this with like zero context or explanation.
Right.
This is their anniversary dinner. So they do these yearly anniversaries since they started as a group. They sort of discuss the year, they have conversations about the relationships, they reflect on all different types of things. So this is just them doing their yearly thing, all 7 of them hanging out, having a dinner.
They seem to have food around a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Last video, they were eating pretty heartily.
Dude.
And this looks like quite a feast in front of them.
Yeah, it's hard to be hungry sometimes watching these guys.
이 뭐랄까 이 다락이라고 해야 되나요?
음주도 안 돼요.
방탄다락입니다. 방탄다락. 내가 이제 촬영을 해서 공개를 하려고 모였죠.
아 그렇죠. 아 뭐 여튼 우리 뭐 드레스 코드가 또 있잖아요 여기 오는데 또. 예.
오늘의 드레스 코드 바로
예.
노라 앤 노라. 오하고 맞췄네. 오하.
Maxwell, purple. Purple is their color.
That's right, man.
I see purple on
Suga.
Suga.
Yeah.
보라. 노라. 보라. 노라. Wow. This is bonobo. Yeah.
근데
So there's a couple new guys, but
Yeah.
you can just say this guy, this guy, this guy. You know, you don't have to. Don't worry about their names, and I'll remind you the names when you point to the guy. Yeah, Jin, RM, and Suga. Those are the 3 guys. V looks very different in the video.
I was going to say, I don't recognize him at all. Which one is he with the glasses?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think V was the guy, if I'm not mistaken, who came up with the color purple as being their sort of band representation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Well, I can tell you a little bit of this.
Yeah. You tell me.
Yeah, man, because after that last video, I did a little digging here. And I got to tell you, I was wondering why the purple hearts were so significant. And one of the reasons is because apparently V had introduced the color purple as the band's color because it's the last color in the rainbow. That's according to what V's comments were.
Cool.
And as the last color in the rainbow, that color kind of backs up all the other colors. So the purple was kind of like saying, you know, we're going to back you up and you're going to be our guys and purple's going to be our color because you got us.
Actually really cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays into the Army name as well, right? As like a protective unit. Like we're going to be protecting you. We have your back. That's really cool.
That's what makes them so special. Yeah. They come up with this stuff. They look for ways to connect with their audience. It's wonderful.
우리
부산 뭐예요?
부산은 부산. 살던 데 옆에 산이 있어가지고 거기 있었어요. 거기 약간 이게 이 냇물이 흐르는 데가 있었는데 거기서 잘 놀았었죠.
가재 있었나요?
개발될 대로 됐어요. 대구도 가재 그런 거 안 씁니다.
진짜
근데 진짜 가재를 제가 잡아서 여름에 키웠어요.
그 유리병 해가지고 밖에 딱 내다 놨거든요. 물 딱 깨끗한 거 해가지고.
이렇게 해가지고.
다음날 일어났는데 가지가 새빨갛게 익어 있는 거예요.
진짜?
유리병 안에서.
아 더워가지고
네.
익은 거구나.
바다에서 잡았어요.
Yeah.
Max.
If you need me to stop at any time,
Yeah.
just let me know. Yeah.
I find that I guess because there are 7 of them, each member seems to have a different take on what the message is, and they kind of take it in different directions. But what's interesting, I find here, is that everybody kind of fills in or follows up on whatever the person's comment is. It's not like whatever someone says is being ignored and move on to something else. Like somebody will say something and the other group members will pick up on it and comment on it. It's not as if they're leaving someone out or showing disregard.
Right.
They seem to
They're all
care.
actively engaged.
Yeah, no matter how
Yeah.
funny or maybe how silly a comment is or how unrelated it is to what they were talking
Totally.
about.
Yeah.
They all kind of like are able to get in on the pile in a sense,
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
know.
say, and let's enjoy what we're just talking about, even if it's just for 30 seconds, and everybody's in on it.
I love that
It's a
thought.
togetherness.
I love that thought.
아지트 어렸을 때 뭐 많았을 것 같아요.
저는 놀이터에
저도
Back to hideouts.
에스컬레이터가 아니라 뭐야 그 미끄럼틀 그래. 미끄럼틀.
에스컬레이터. 야 놀이터 에스컬레이터가 있으면
아니 그 미끄럼틀 큰 미끄럼틀의 밑에 그 장소리.
맞아요. 이렇게 해가지고 내려가는데.
그 밑에 의자 있잖아. 이렇게. 그 공간에서 이제 그 탈출이랑
아 맞아요.
그
맞아.
경도 이런 거.
저는 이제 개인적으로 놀이터는 다른 사람들이 올 수가 있잖아요.
그치.
저는 이제 집에서 엄청 큰 빈 상자를 조립해가지고 거기 안에다가 제 물건을 다 집어넣은 거예요.
오, DIY인데?
예. 근데 이제 그거를 이제 할머니가 이제 상자를 이제 팔잖아요. 빈 상자를.
아, 팔죠.
Just noticing something about, I guess V. Yeah. He, as I remember from the last time, he seems more of a quiet, reserved guy, although he'll speak his mind.
Yeah.
But what I was noticing there is that he seemed to like make his comments directly to RM.
Yeah.
Whereas RM often directs his comments to the whole group as the leader. He kind of makes eye contact with a lot of the guys. V seemed to be content just to make his response back to RM, and in a quiet way. But he was involved.
Yeah.
But he just is not out there and saying to everybody, "Listen to what I'm saying." I'm having a response that I want to give back directly to RM. So it's just kind of a nice interaction that those two fellas have.
Yeah.
But he's not like some of the other guys whose comments are like for everybody else to hear.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
getting a little bit. Now he likes more of a one-on-one kind of a situation. I get a feeling from
Yeah,
V.
I think so. Like, I think in a way, like, RM's happy to put it on a little bit more, and, you know, he's more comfortable being performative in a conversational setting.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So I think that's maybe also part of what you're seeing there, too.
Yeah.
And V also gave me a very kind of real vibe, just kind of speaks his mind freely, doesn't really have a filter. When he wants to say something, he just says it.
Really, I can see that.
I get
yeah,
that
he has
from
that
him.
quiet confidence, no doubt.
저는 이거 진짜 심해요. 저는 잘 때 무조건 볼펜 쥐고 자야 돼요.
아 진짜?
혼자 그림을 그리고
이건 또
이제
무슨 소리야?
자면서 그림을
아니 혼자 이제
이건 또 무슨 소리야?
4천왕이 있고 막 주인공
그래,
한
막
명
그런 거
있고
있다니까.
악당 엄청 써야 되고 혼자 이렇게 하면서 이렇게
어렸을 때
했다가
그런 게 있어요.
그렇게 해야지 잠이 와요. 그래서 자고 일어나면 볼펜이 여기 찍혀 있어요, 자꾸 얼굴에.
와,
근데 이런 상상들이 다 나만 하는 줄 안다. 근데 이제 크면은 너 형도 했고 막
다 했지 솔직히 어렸을 때.
그러니까 나만 상상한 줄 알았는데
근데
다른
진짜
사람들
실제로
다 하고 있어.
몸으로 해본 적 없어요? 그러니까 형같이 막
Maxwell.
Yo, man.
This is really cool here because they're actually learning about each other right now, and this is, you know, as groups go psychologically, this is how you develop cohesiveness. And these guys are sharing details about their life, clearly that they hadn't expressed to each other before, and they're learning about each other. And one of the things that's really cool about humans is that they want to seek validation. They want to know that what their experience is like, other people have it too, so they're not different or weird or an outcast. And you could hear these guys saying, you did that too, you thought that too, and they're kind of sharing their childhood experiences. And they're probably finding out now that they're more similar than they thought.
Totally.
Even, you know, but this is a great group bonding experience, you know.
Yeah.
And they seem to be really into learning about each other.
Totally.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, you could see how well they get along here too.
Yeah.
It's just so natural seeming.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody
Seamless.
is a contributor.
아 그거 했지.
그런 거 하나 있었어. 게임 만드는 애 있었어.
그거 학교에서 했지 학교에서.
이거 안 했냐? 다 그려놓고 야 골라봐. 뭐야 머리 너
형, 뽑기.
스탑 이러고 딱 해가지고 이거 안 했냐?
뽑기.
아니 지금 이걸 보고 있는 어린 친구들은 정말 이해가 안 되거든요. 디지털이 보급되기 전에.
그렇죠. 그
내가
감성이
이거
있어요.
진짜 책상 넘기면 3점.
그래
1레벨 사냥터,
이거 다 했잖아.
5렙 사냥터.
이거 다 했잖아.
맞아.
야 근데 하나만 더 할게요. 여러분 그 뽑기 안 했습니까? 이거 뜨는 거?
아 했죠.
1등 2등 근데 그거 1등 없잖아요.
1등 나 뽑았어요.
그래요?
나 1등 뽑았어요. 아니
대단한 사람들이
왕딱지 아닌가?
왕탁 씨는.
And you know what's cool too? Like just how natural this conversation is. Like, it doesn't even feel like there's cameras on them.
I agree. No,
Yeah.
I agree because
Yeah.
the naturalness with which they speak to each other,
Yes.
like you're right, they're not forcing anything. And if this wasn't done for their fans, like in other words, if they weren't having this dinner, they would have the same conversation just walking around, I
Right.
believe, their room or their
Yeah.
apartment or wherever they're at.
Yeah.
But I agree. They're very natural with each other.
I think from a psychological perspective, right, would you say that changes how the viewers sort of feel connected to them?
For sure. It's kind of like it also creates a trust with these guys. They're not trying to be fake in any way.
That's what it is.
I trust these guys. I think what they're saying, I could relate to them,
Yeah.
or anybody could relate to them, and they're being honest and genuine. So yeah, psychologically, the fact that they're so comfortable and at ease causes us to be more drawn to them.
For sure.
You're right, Max.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
황금이고 있다면
황금인 거 있다는 거죠.
황금이고 이만한 거 설탕.
아, 그거 근데 진짜 난 1등 한 번도 못 봐.
나도.
우리 동네에서는 줬어.
했어? 너희 동네
Do you know what Heelys are, by the way?
Are they rims?
No, those little rollerblade shoes. You ever see kids like rolling around on those running
Oh,
shoes?
for
and they go-
sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
man.
it-
Okay.
That's what he just mentioned.
That's
In
what
my town, the
Heelys.
prize was Heelys.
Ah,
Must have been a rich
as a
town.
kid, that's a pretty good gift.
추억의 이 얘기 잠깐만.
야 이거
한숨 자고 오세요. 자
이거는
여기 다
이야기가 안
얘기해볼게요.
끊길 것 같아. 40분 할 때까지.
그거 몰라 그거 앞을 땡 그거 앞을 이거
왜
영화
몰라요
해가지고
형님? 그 국민과사잖아요.
100원씩 해가지고 이렇게 쭉쭉 빨아먹고 이거 이렇게
Now there's a topic everybody can jump on. Everybody's got their
Exactly.
favorite foods from childhood.
Exactly.
그렇죠? 눌러야 돼. 이렇게.
그 양쪽에 이렇게 열이 있어가지고
그치.
고데기 같은 거야. 근데 거기
이거
호떡 같은 거 넣어.
그래 이거
이거
눌러
넣고.
소세지 넣어.
그러니까.
눌러는
물러가 뭐야?
없어? 눌러가? 왜 물어가 있어?
아 우리는 눌러 없었어요.
별로 없어.
왜 모르지? 왜 모르지? 이거.
그거 알아요? 그 생쥐 모양인데 그게 조금 작은 건데 그 게임하면 조금씩 나오는 거.
그 꾀돌이 베이지색이랑 갈색 이런 거.
맞아요.
갈색도 많이.
여러분 전국구 단위에 갑시다. 전국구 단위부터 가야죠. 맥주 사탕. 그거랑
Nobody's left out.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. No one's left out.
Yeah,
For
everyone's
sure.
involved.
Everyone's very involved.
Yeah.
Even if they're not talking, they're actively engaged. Like
They
no
are.
one seems like they're disengaged in any way
Yeah.
or checked out.
Yeah.
For sure, man. For sure.
Such an easy flow. You know, I think, with any kind of a group, you kind of insulate yourself from the outside world. It's kind of like an us against them. That's a very common thing in group psychology. Once you form a cohesive group, the idea is that, we're together in this and everybody else is out there and they don't really understand what we're going through. And so we have to stick together and make this happen for ourselves. And that's the way it looks. It's like they're concerned about them and they're not, worried about, as you mentioned, like cameras or, what time is it. They're engrossed in their own activity. So it's like a real strong in-group feeling. And they're able to block out so much around them, I think, because of that. And they feel like, hey, it's us and everybody else is out there.
Right.
In terms of their professional world. I think the only other people that really hugely matter is ARMY.
Right, right. Maybe their team, maybe some of their producers and their crew. You're right. That's a really interesting point.
And talks like this, revealing personal information about themselves to each other, just solidifies it more. I mean, just adding more glue to the group.
Exactly. Isn't it just fucking cool though how they share this with us, like as artists? Like, I never see this. I never saw this until I was introduced to K-pop and BTS.
No, it's a completely different sort of outlook and approach to your fan base, and it's saying thank you. They're saying thank you, I think, by doing all this, because how many millions of people around the world tune into them, and they could say, so what? We got the followers, who cares? I just keep putting out records. And
that's right.
But no, they want to relate to their fans. And as I see it again, I mean, this is not a burden for them. Like, it doesn't appear to be. It just seems like this is just part of their day, and they enjoy being with each other, and they enjoy speaking to their fans.
Well, you made a really good point in the last video where you said they come to their audience. Their audience doesn't come to them. Right? And that's so true. I think that sums it up very well. They come voluntarily, happily, readily to their audience.
Exactly.
So they initiate. And they want to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, very grateful group of guys.
Absolutely.
이야기가 끊이지 않을 것 같습니다. 오케이, 다음 진영이
Would you like me to bring the screen into your head? Just noticed Uncle Harley getting right up into the screen there.
I've got to read this writing too.
Here, you know what? Let me get the subtitles a little
larger.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, we'll go up to 150. Let me know if that helps.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
크리스마스 때였나 그래가지고 이제 산타 할아버지 온다고 막 잠을 못 잔 거야 막 이러다가 이제 언제 오나 해서 잠든 척을 했는데 갑자기 뭔가 쓱 움직여서 그러니까 아빠가 이게 내 머리맡에 그걸 딱 놔두고 가는 거야. 본 거야 이게 눈 딱 떴는데 아빠는 눈이 맞아.
동심 파괴.
그때 이제 알았지. 산타는 없구나.
저는 그 슈가가 눈을 떴잖아요. 그 할아버지 없다는 걸 알았잖아요. 근데 저는
지금도 믿고 있는 거 아니야 산타 온다고. 25일로 기다리고 있는 거 아니야?
아빠가 그러니까 선물은 솔직히 기억 안 나요. 그 산타 가면을 쓰고 돌아왔었어요.
신이 나셨네.
아버님이 되게 스윗하시다.
다들 이런 걸 하시는구나.
그리고 그때 나는 이제 소리가 들리니까 눈을 못 뜨겠는 거예요. 좀 뭔가 긴장되고 그러니까.
그치. 어디 긴장되지. 모르는 사람이 집에 들어온다고 생각하는 거니까.
근데 갑자기 수염이 이렇게 얼굴 스치고 가. 근데 아빠 그 가면 들고.
He's got a cool presence, doesn't he, Jungkook?
He does.
Yeah, there's something really cool about him. I was going to ask you, any thoughts that come to mind with the guy in the purple shirt, Suga? Any thoughts come to mind? Any first impressions?
Well, first of all, I find he's a significant contributor to the group. So he likes to add his input. But more than that, the one thing that I'm getting from him is that he's a pretty sensitive kind of guy. I mean, he kind of was full of emotion when he was talking about his dad and the experience back there. So it kind of like alerted me to the fact that he may be one of these guys that kind of wears his emotions maybe outwardly a little bit more than the average person. I don't know that to be the case with him, but he's certainly, he's certainly able to share, personal history and very comfortable at it, and in an emotional way. It just seemed really genuine. He wasn't just trying to throw out a scene from his past to be part of the conversation.
No. That's interesting. Yeah. That's really because he is a very straight up, honest, genuine person.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you commented on sensitive. I think he is a sensitive person, deeply empathetic person, but you wouldn't necessarily get that at first glance because he comes across as a little colder on the outside to some people at first. Because he's very sort of straightforward and matter of fact at times.
Yeah.
But I think you're dead on when you say he has no problem sharing things about himself.
And he feels deeply. I mean, that's
he
how
feels deeply. Yes, he feels deeply. That's a great point. I think that too.
Yeah.
I think that too.
You're right.
산타는 없다.
현실적이셨네.
선물은 크리스마스 날 선물은 다 내가 주는 거다.
현실적인 생각하시네.
분별할 때부터 내가 뭔가를 분별할 때부터 아빠가 산타는 없다. 너네 선물은 다 내가 사주는 거다. 너네
고마워라.
크리스마스에 선물 받고 싶으면 아빠한테
잘해라.
평소에 잘해라.
그게 맞지.
It keeps things light,
아빠
right?
뭐 받고 싶다며
yeah,
그래?
yeah.
아빠한테 잘해봐. 자 어깨 주물러 봐.
You see that?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
그래서 제가 그걸 봤었어요. 해리포 땡의 그 무슨 마법사의 땡 있잖아요. 마법사의 돌멩이. 마법사의 돌멩이 있잖아요.
I just wanted to make a quick comment about Jin that
Yeah.
I noticed myself.
Jin?
Jin is in the orange shirt. This guy.
Oh, all right. The humorous fellow.
The humorous fella.
Yeah.
And this is something I've noticed from a lot of videos. Like even if the guys aren't into the humor right away, he doesn't let that detract from him sort of bringing his humor to the conversation later in, because RM wasn't really taking to his humor at the beginning.
Right.
But that doesn't discourage him. That doesn't like bring him down. He doesn't get down on himself for it. He doesn't dwell on it.
Right.
I think part of it is because he knows the guys love him at the end of the day. But part of it, he's a confident guy and he's going to remain who he is regardless. So I like that he just kind of keeps that up.
No, that's
Anyway.
a good point. No,
Yeah.
if I could just follow on that too,
Yeah.
Max. The fact that he wasn't, you're right, he wasn't joking on the basis of what his response was. If he got a laugh or didn't get a laugh, didn't matter. You were absolutely right about him. He just sees life in a very humorous lens, and he also has the ability to be quick-witted and come out with
Very
these
quick.
funny lines. And that's a skill in itself.
Totally.
Yeah, so he's not about just getting, applause for his jokes.
No,
he's
that's
just
him.
funny.
That's who he is. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
근데 내가 막 울었단 말이야 그날 밤에.
왜?
우리 경주 가서 산타 반지 못 온다고. 그래서 막 울어가지고 막 울었는데 그날 아침에 일어나니까 이제 머리맡에 그 조그만한 레이싱카가 있었어요. 진짜 막 이렇게 하면 가는 거 있잖아. 이렇게 하면 가는 거.
우리 때는 그거 미니카 그거 아니었나? 이거 모터 넣는 거?
막 무지개 바퀴 달고 막 볼드 모터 달고 이런 거.
그거를 저는 크리스마스 때 그거 선물 받았거든요.
아 진짜.
미니카.
네.
다음 질문 갈까요?
네.
자 그쪽에서 한번 가보세요.
아니 사실 뭐 이런 이야기를 하면 막 다 시간도 할 수 있지.
그렇죠.
다 시간이 뭐야?
너무 많아가지고.
오늘 새벽까지 가능해요.
자,
다음 챕터.
듣는 것만으로도 나를 행복하게 해주는 말은?
Can I just make a point, Maxwell?
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah. As a group, what I notice is that they kind of self-regulate. It's not like they get crazy silly onto a topic and lose sight of where it's going. They always kind of like are able to regroup, and they have the ability to stay on topic. So they always have a sense of being kind of in control and sort of being able to regulate their behavior. Like I kind of give them kudos for like just as much as this is a relaxing get together. They're saying, we also have a purpose here. We want to get through these.
They're
these
professionals.
questions. Very.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Professionals.
They're able to marry the professional side with the genuine side, so you don't feel like you're getting fake.
살 빠진 거 같은데? 오늘 잘 나온다.
너 잘한다. 이런 거.
오늘 잘 나오는데? 더 엽선이 그 말이 솔직히 좋아요. 네.
전 개인적으로 제 친구들이랑 얘기하면서 제일 좋은 건 좀 팀 자랑 같은 거 나오면 되게 좋아하긴 해요. 팀 욕하면 그 친구랑 연락 안 해요.
아 맞아.
네.
뭐 있지 또?
다음 질문 넘어갈게요.
좋아. 요즘 자주
What I wanted to say about that was that these guys don't have such a huge head that they think that they're better than everybody. They still appreciate comments, especially from friends who they know they can rely on and they trust.
친구들이랑 얘기하면서 제일 좋은 건 좀 팀 자랑 같은 거 나오면
And that matters to them. They're not just kind of like ignoring it or sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah.
Because they have millions of people saying you're good.
Yeah.
But they're saying that matters.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Still looking to grow. They're still looking to learn.
Right.
They're not resting on their laurels.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Because if they didn't care, then they wouldn't continue to be working this hard. I think that the fact that they do work this hard is because they appreciate the appreciation they
For
get.
sure, man.
I think that's what drives them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
다음 질문 넘어갈게요.
좋아. 요즘 자주 느끼는 감정이 무엇인가요?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
약간 감정이 약간 좀 무뎌지는
But I think you just made a really good point, which is what drives BTS, and it's receiving that appreciation. I think you're right. I think ARMY appreciating them is what really drives them to give back.
There's a term for that called symbiotic relationship.
Okay.
Where you feed off the other person feeds off you, and it's as though you can't exist without the other person, that person can't exist without you. Sometimes that can be very, very pathological because you can't be your own person. But in some cases, and I think in this case, it can be very, very positive because they're gaining their energy and desire to do well. The BTS fellas are from ARMY, and ARMY is getting back from them the same kind of appreciation and love. So they kind of like feed off each other, and it causes this symbiosis where they're kind of like together as one, like they're one entity. And these guys keep pushing that. We're one with you. So I'm curious. Yeah,
well, that's a cool one. I like how you dropped some psychology on us there.
약간 연습을 좀 하는 것 같아서 뭔가 되게 기뻐도 되게 약간 좀 무디고 막 슬퍼도 무디고
아파도
약간 좀 이 평을 좀 유지하려고 좀 많이 노력을 하는.
Yeah, that's the dude I was saying. Feels things very deeply, and he's there, the first one talking about how he's trying to keep his emotions in control.
Yeah, you're bang on about that. He does feel deeply and he thinks deeply. And when he communicates with a ton of wisdom, I find. And I think part of the wisdom comes from him processing and feeling so deeply.
방탄소년단 정국은 밝게 빛나지만 정국은 한없이 초라합니다.
뭐가? 왜 초라?
왜 한없이 초라합니까, 정국은?
그 어릴 때부터 공부를 안 했었고
다 알죠.
많이 느리지 않나 다른 사람들보다.
아니 근데 예전이랑 좀 다른 게 그 공부의 개념도 좀 바뀌어버린 게 네가 영상 만들고 그러면서 이제
그치.
무슨 영상을 보는 것도 요즘은 공부지.
정씨 학교에서 책 보고 하는 것만 공부가 아닙니다.
맞아요.
텍스트로 공부하는 시대는 좀 지났지.
정국 씨, 우리는 인생을 배우고 있지 않습니까?
멋있게 하고 있어요.
정국 씨,
인생을 배우고
방탄과 같이 하면서 인생을 배우고 있지 않습니까, 정국 씨?
그리고 정말 공부가 하고 싶으면 나중에 해도 돼요.
공부를 하기 싫어요.
그렇지. 나도 하기 싫다 이제.
You know, Maxwell.
Yeah, man.
I just love the fact that this guy
Jungkook,
is very vulnerable. I mean, he presents himself as that. He was kind of, mentioning how he didn't do well in school, how it was hard for him. He was talking about that, and you could see that he was sort of deliberately kind of like picking his word, just the way he was. He didn't feel good about himself, is really what he was saying back then. And what was awesome, if you notice the reaction by his boys, they all and certainly RM, he was like patting him on the like don't worry, man. Studying, it doesn't matter. We're doing something else now.
Exactly. And Suga was like, you can study through videos. It's not like you don't have to study the traditional way with books.
Yeah. They didn't pile on him and say anything negative. In fact, they were very supportive and
totally, man.
Consoling often.
He's the youngest, by the way, so they really look at him as like the younger brother in the group.
Right.
So they really have his back in that way. And he really looks up and respects all of them, especially RM over here.
Very supportive of each other.
Very supportive. That's the point. Very supportive of each other.
뭐 가사나 이런 데서 얘기를 많이 해가지고
나도
좀
많이
다른 친구들의 얘기가 들어보고 싶어요.
저는 진과 김석진의 차이점은 진은 항상 이렇게 카메라나 이런 데 앞에서 밝은 모습만 보여주려고 노력을
개그라든지.
하죠. 그렇죠. 저는 이렇게 어두운 면을 별로 비추고 싶지 않거든요. 근데 김석진으로서는 이렇게 방송에서의 진과 평소의 김석진은 많이 다르다는 얘기를 들어가지고 김석진을 진화시켜야겠다.
김석진 진화!
초특급 진화!
자, 뭐 김태형 B 뭐가 어떻게 달라요?
네, 저는 나는 뭐가 다른지 잘 모르겠어요. 저는.
똑같은 거죠 뭐. 지민.
저는 되게 다르다고 생각해요.
It's an interesting conversation, though. Like this is our life. BTS is our life. We're so in it. It's like it's hard to sometimes take a step back and be like, who am I before BTS? Like, what's my real character here? Or am I always in sort of like performer and persona mode? Or
That would be hard. That would be hard because you work so much of the day to become a certain person for the stage,
Yeah.
and for your videos, and then you take that away. Who are you? You know, it's not like they have an easy go of it in their lives. I mean,
Right.
they still have to figure out stuff and work through stuff like every other human.
Yeah.
And you can see this is part of their struggles, just
Right.
kind of finding out who they are and developing their own persona apart from the group.
totally.
So yes, you're right, Max. This is really interesting that they're having that kind of a conversation.
Yeah.
그넌 아니었던 걸
옛날에
기억하면,
아니었어요. 네.
이제 본인 걱정도 되게 많이 하고 이제 이런 게 있었었는데 이게 일관적으로 살 수가 없어. 우리 그래서 페이클러브 이야기가 그런 거였고 이게 뭐
가면 쓰고.
뭐 사람들은 우리한테 가식적이다라고 이야기할 수 있는데 그리고 또 막 뭔가 앞과 뒤가 다르다고 이야기할 수 있는데 근데 그거는 비단 연예인뿐만 아니라
맞아요,
모든
맞아요.
사람이 다 그런
맞아요,
거예요.
맞아요.
그거를 막 일관적으로 막 내가 왜 이 사람한테는 이렇게 대하면 저 사람한테 이렇게 대하지에 대해서 고민을 할 필요가 크게 없더라. 뭐 어떨 때는 분리할 때도 있고 어떨 때는 뭐 같이 안 할 때도 있고
아니면 여러 가지 면이 있는 거.
아이 슈가 형 말이 오늘 박혀.
Do you follow that? What Suga was saying? Sort of?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Abs-
I love that.
Go
What
on.
do you think? What were you going to say?
I thought that, first of all, I give the guy credit for being so revealing and honest. You're right. You know, he's a straightforward, straight shooter.
Yes.
My thought about him
Yes.
is that he is a very introspective kind of person. He can look within himself. You said he was a very bright fellow and he seemed to have a lot of good things to say. He can also look within himself and talk about something that has relevance to the whole group. And so what I think what he's doing is kind of like helping shape the group presence, like how they perceive themselves. They're still working through that because they're talking about how do we be ourselves and at the same time be BTS. And he's saying, look guys, we shouldn't have to feel like we're not who we are or we're pretending. We're doing really the best we can and still trying to be ourselves. I mean, I think that's the message. So what that tells the group is, okay, it gives us sort of an even playing field, you know? Yeah, we're all struggling with our desires to be authentic, but it's hard. And he's just voicing that. And he's basically saying, you know, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat here.
And it brings the group cohesiveness and a sense of oneness. And it also is this, he's like a voice of assurance. You know, everything's all right. You know, it's okay. We all go through this. We're dealing with it together.
Definitely.
So
definitely has a reassuring presence.
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
정국이는 막내였고 뭐 물론 우리 다 말들 어렸지만
옛날이랑 지금이랑 비교했을 때 정국이 진짜 우리 중에서 제일 마음이 넓어진 것 같아요.
나 뭔 말인지 알 것 같아.
진짜.
좀 뭐랄까 되게 이게 담을 수 있는 그릇이 커진 것 같아요.
진짜.
뭔가 포용할 수
다
있는
형들이
게
만든 겁니다.
지금 자세
야,
봐봐.
다-
지금 제일 커 그릇이 봐봐. 여기서 제일 어른이야.
자기 물건이랑 음식은 손 못 대게 했었던
맞아. 그랬었지.
자기 자리가 있었어.
아니 근데 그게 그릇이 커진 것보다는 원래 그릇이 컸는데 우리가 물이 없었던 거지. 담을 물이 없었던 거라서.
Maxwell.
Yeah, man.
They're able to deliver up information about their group members and again, it's all very supportive. You know, they could have easily downed, you know, the guy for you know, being immature earlier on and so on, but they're complimenting him, in fact, saying, you know, he's grown up and, you know, he's a different person now. You could see that, I guess it was Suga that they're talking about, right?
They're talking about Jungkook. This guy.
Jungkook.
Yeah.
You know, that he's looking like he's taking this all in and thinking about it very seriously. He's not just kind of dismissing it.
No.
So
He respects what they have to say for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely. And they seem to know each other very well, and they're speaking about each other's growth, and so they observe each other. They really observe each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once again, it's just a solid group of guys who become one. Yeah.
제가 랩모 형 보고 들어왔잖아요 회사에. 정말 멋있었단 말이죠. 정말 멋있고 나 그때 생긴 게 딱 조각 미남이었어요. 제 눈에는 너무 멋있었고 랩도 너무 잘했고 해가지고 또 들어왔는데 일단 편집할 거였어.
갑자기 거기로 성격이 어떻게 바뀌었냐고.
너무 놀랬고, 그때부터 이제 성격을
네.
이제 알게 된 거죠. 랩문의 성격을 알게 돼가지고 그냥 마냥 저는 이제 데뷔하고 나서 뭔가 하나둘씩 그게 판단이 돼가지고 솔직히 데뷔 전까지는 솔직히 생각 안 나요. 그냥 되게
I would say that he is a
Who, RM?
RM is a highly respected leader within the group. I mean, I don't think there's any sort of disagreement or disloyalty because there's no smug comments. Nobody's putting him down. He's respected, and you could tell from the comments being made that he was more of a strict kind of, like they say, he was the monitor. So he was making sure everybody was doing their job, and they're feeling, just from what I was hearing, that he may have been a bit too much early on. And he realized that he had to kind of chill out a little bit. That's what I'm getting. So I think as a leader, he's evolved, and that he's strengthened his position as a leader, and the rest of the group have certainly bought into that. Yeah,
That's a cool observation. That's a cool observation. He actually spoke in front of the UN. That could be something that we can check out. He did a speech at the UN.
Really?
Yeah, it was really impressive. I call him a leader's leader.
That's just mind-boggling, the thought that...
And it was in English too. But yeah, go
Really?
on. Mind-boggling in what?
You're called before the UN?
Yeah, I know, right?
Talk about an incredible honor.
Dude, they sat down with Joe Biden too.
Really?
Yeah, they got invited to the White House.
Oh boy, these guys touch a lot of folks, or they wouldn't be recognized at that level. Yeah, their impact is really felt. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
자, 넘어갈게요. 예. 자, 진영은 뭐 제가 봤을 때는 진영이랑 그래도 막 카페에서 막 얘기도 많이 하고 막 그랬었는데, 옛날에는 막 진영이랑 너무 달라가지고 저랑 성격이 되게 반대여서 이 형을 내가 어떻게 이해하지? 뭐 막 이런 생각을 되게 많이 했던 것 같아요. 이런 유형의 사람을 처음 봐가지고. 근데 이제 그러다가 제가 수용을 못 하다가 어느 순간부터 그게 되고 오히려 되게 진영이랑 굉장히 편해졌는데, 그다음부터는.
A little uncomfortable.
Jin?
With that. I mean, he's just feeling a little nervous as he's being praised by the leader there. You get to see he's just...
if you had to guess, just out of curiosity, who would you say is the oldest in the group? If you had to take a guess.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The oldest. Oh my gosh. I would go with V.
Wow. No. V's the second youngest.
Comes across as highly mature. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
All right, can I do guess number 2?
Yeah, one more guess.
One more guess.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to go with Suga.
No, it's a good guess, but no. I mean, I understand why you would say Suga. It's Jin.
In the orange.
In the orange. He's actually the oldest, which is funny because he can act like the most immature at times.
Interesting.
So
yeah.
He's kind of the goofiest. So.
Yeah. Well, he's getting his personality read by his leader here. So.
이제 태영이의 그 독특한 성격이나 이런 매력이 밖에 우리를 모르는 사람들의 그런 이목을 굉장히 많이 끌었던 것 같아요.
이게 방송적으로는 되게 좋아요.
맞아요.
방송적으로는 되게 좋은데 주변 사람들이 힘들었었어.
태영 씨 어떤 것 같아요? 이렇게 얘기를 해주는데.
그 행복의 기준치가 저는 그냥 변했다고 생각해요. 그냥 행복의 기준치가 그냥 저 혼자 그냥 좋으면 됐지라는 생각을 가졌었더라면, 지금은 그냥 뭐가 됐든 그냥 우리 방탄이란 7명이 다 같이 행복하면 내가 정말 행복해지는 거고, 그게 기준이 되어버리다 보니까.
Couple things.
Yeah, man.
I love these guys. No, I mean, I just love them on a personal level.
Yeah.
Their genuineness. And what strikes me is that they're basically saying here that they all came into this process as individuals and their own individual personalities. And some of those personalities didn't hit right with some of the other members. And then what you're hearing across the group is that over time, they kind of like chipped away at these differences and found the similarities amongst themselves, and they were able to kind of fit in, which was really nice. I mean, we're talking 7 people, like all sort of like fitting in and being able to kind of go along like a well-oiled machine. And they recognize that it wasn't easy at the
Yeah.
beginning, but you know, we've worked hard to understand each other. And you know, this is all part of fame, being famous too. I mean, you know, they want to make an impact on the world with their songs. But if they don't get along, you know, BTS
that's
doesn't
not gonna
exist.
happen. Yeah.
They work so hard personally, forget the performing
Yes,
side, but
yes.
personally, they try to know each other, they try to adjust to each other, they try to learn about each other, and just an impressive group. I could see these guys having a reunion at age 50.
Dude, 100%.
And talking about back in the day, just like they're talking about back in the day
and they
now.
joke about that. They've joked about that before, I believe,
Yeah.
saying that they're going to have a reunion in 50 years.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That I'm so happy to hear you say
Yeah.
that and recognize that there's a lot of self-work that goes on, right? It's not just the dance routines and the choreography,
Which is a huge part of
which
it.
is a huge part, and the production and all those things. A big part of it is like they've had to really grow personally.
이 딱 중간에서 뭔가 이렇게
그게 있었어요.
항상 좀 항상 좀 의견 표출할 때도 항상 후반에 하고 왜냐면 하도 얘기를 나랑 윤기 형이랑 막 항상 얘기하니까 사실 그게 제일 힘든 것 같거든요. 나는 경청하는 게 제일 힘든 것 같아요. 내가 뭘 갖다 말하는 건 쉬워. 그걸 앉아서 가만히 듣고 있다가 혼자서 이제 보면 이제 가장 센 캐가 이제 약간 실눈캐예요. 물론 실눈캐는 아니지만 항상 끝까지 말을 듣고 있어요. 존재감을 숨기고.
만화 같은 거 보면
갑자기
So uplifting, RM, isn't he? He really, yeah.
그런 애들 있죠. 눈 감고 되게.
만화에서도
말을 절대 안 해, 그냥.
만화에서도 그래요.
만화에서
그냥 웃고 있는 애들이 제일 무서운 거예요.
그리고 말을 절대 안 해. 말을 절대 안 해.
눈뜨면 빨간색이잖아.
그 점점점 바꿔요. 점점점.
아무튼 제이홉은 항상 저는 감사해요. 제이홉.
옛날부터 되게 기둥, 우리 팀이 기둥 같다는 느낌을 되게 많이 받았어요. 기둥을 받치는 기둥 같은 느낌이었어요.
I wanted to ask you, Uncle Harley, really quickly. What do you think of how RM carries himself? Just sort of your initial thoughts about how he communicates to the world, to the group. Anything that stands out to you at all, or?
Well, I think that he personifies what a leader is. You know, he draws the attention of the group members. They look up to him. They acknowledge him as the group leader. And he recognizes that. He doesn't have any issues being the leader. I see him as having sort of an oversight as to how things are. This guy seems to have like a bigger plan.
Got a vision.
He's got a vision.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's asking his people to follow him in his vision. And they're all readily willing to do that. And he's a nice looking guy. He's very personable. You know, he speaks well. He's articulate. He expresses his emotions well. He's able to direct conversation within the group. He doesn't let anything get too heavy or too silly. So I've been very impressed with him. And he's not an overbearing guy. That's what I like about him too. He doesn't have to like rule or lead with an iron fist and say, this is how it goes, guys.
I have very similar thoughts. Well said.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
어떨 것 같아요? 마지막 본인이 본인은 성격이 어떻게 달라진 것 같은지.
본인 저요?
네, 뭐 데뷔할 때랑 지금이랑 뭐 자기 성격이 약간 변한 게 있다.
아 그러게 저는 내가 어떻게 변했다는 거에 한번 진지하게 막 엄청 생각해 본 적 없는 것 같아요. 오히려 남을 봤.
Great guys, huh?
Yeah.
So far from what you've seen, they're just
No, I really like them. I mean, I could see just sitting down with these dudes and just chatting away and having a fun time, you know, and not feeling out of place.
Right.
I think that they would accept anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's an interesting point that you say that you feel that they can accept anyone, and I wonder what you guys think as well watching this. And I think a lot of ARMY feels that way. They feel that's part of why they feel so close to BTS.
Yeah.
They feel accepted by them. That's cool. I think about wanting to hang. I would love to sit down, just as an aside. I would love to sit down and chat with them.
And one of the things that I'm sure you would love to find out, what's your life like? I mean, are you really like this when you're not in front of the camera? I'm betting for sure they are. I'm sure that if you knocked on the door right now and you wanted to sit down with these guys, they say, sure, come on in.
Yeah, I agree with
they
that.
wouldn't ignore you or make you feel out of place.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
쉬는 시간이죠.
발가락으로 한 건가?
쉬는 시간이라고 하죠.
쉬는 시간.
네, 그거를 이제 게임을 하다가 어떤 분이 게임에 방탄소년단 좋아하는 사람이라고 했어요. 그래서 제가 저요 해서 이제 기숙말을 했는데 그게 민슈가 짱짱맨 뿡뿡 막 이런
That's interesting. So he's playing an online game, it sounds like, and he's anonymous on this game, so they don't know he's V from BTS. So someone in the game says, "Do you like BTS?" Which is hilarious. And he said me, and now he's saying her ID, the person who asked, "Do you like BTS?" Her username was Super Ultra Sugar or something like that, which is him. So that's funny.
네, 사실 이제 공연하는 사람 입장에서는 이제 경청하는 분위기보다는
막
다 같이 따라
앞에서
부르고 같이 놀고
춤춰주고 막.
이런 게 사실
진짜 신나죠.
그게 가장 신나죠. 이게.
저도 이제 카메라 앞에서 막 진짜 그냥 죽을 때까지 콘서트만 하고 살고 싶다라고 얘기를 한 적이 있는데.
Yeah, man. These guys, they see the importance of the love going both ways between themselves and the audience because they love what they're doing. And if you kind of think of it as like, what's better than you loving something and the person who's watching you love something thinks you're awesome doing it? I mean, it just enhances the pleasure. And I mean, they talk about being on stage that they'd want to do this forever.
Yeah.
And you can see these guys, you know, that's what makes it worthwhile for them. They're not the money, they're not thinking about that. The fame, they're not thinking about that. They're just saying, I got a boost from people really digging what I'm doing.
Totally.
And that just makes me feel worthwhile and happy.
That's a great point. And I remember you commented on that before, just on aside from this video. I remember you saying, you said to me, you're like, that would be the coolest feeling ever, Max.
No doubt.
Would be on stage having just like a full stadium, just singing
rocking
the lyrics.
out to your song.
How cool would that be? That was always like your dream. Not that you are the most musically inclined person in the world. No offense.
I won't even try to do a BTS song for you, so don't go there. So again, they're saying, "Hey guys, you're awesome. My people are awesome. my fans."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
같이 놀고 이런 게 사실 진짜 신나죠.
That makes it so exciting.
신나죠.
That gives me the most thrill. That's what. Suga's saying exactly what you're saying. That's what I get so excited about.
What a rush that must be.
Right.
Yeah.
카메라 앞에서 막 진짜 그냥 죽을 때까지 콘서트만 하고 살고 싶다라고 얘기를 한 적.
They fucking love it, man.
They do.
I want to hold concerts till I die. They love this shit, man.
I know it.
그것도 다 비슷한 거죠. 이제 팬들이 행복해하는 모습 보고 또 그걸 보고 또 힘이 나고 서로 이게 뭔가
교감.
네. 서로 돌아가는 거죠. 이게.
그죠.
그게 난 너무 좋아요.
마지막인가요?
행복 별거 아니에요.
자 이거 마지막 질문입니다 이제.
마지막이에요? 마지막 질문.
But to me, that's such a big part of their success is the fact that I think that's so telling that Jungkook says, "I want to perform till I die." Like to me, like that's one of the X factors of this group's success. It's like they get excited to perform. They get excited to go on stage. Like if you are in a job, if you can get excited to get up and do your thing, I mean, that's got to be such a big indicator or predictor of success.
No doubt about it. I mean, one of the most important things if you want to be successful in life is to find motivation to do things. And it's not easy to find motivation. It's hard in terms of finding reasons why you should keep trudging along in life and doing and making another goal and reaching that other goal. And the fact that they can draw this incentive from their audience to give them that motivation, it's just remarkable. And they just want to keep it moving. These guys are in a wonderful situation, sort of emotionally, where they're able to receive this love and then to give it back, and they do it so easily without reservation.
Totally. Yeah, man. Good thought.
Yeah.
Really good thought.
So that's just wonderful because what's making them happy is not just what they're doing, but what they're giving to their fans, what they're seeing the fans receive. So
Exactly.
That's kind of taking it to another level.
Yes.
These guys, man. Did I say impressive? Did I say impressive? Man.
I love it.
Yeah.
네, 뭐 너무나 그냥 1년에 한두 번씩 이런 촬영 하잖아요. 이런 것 덕분에 이제 멤버들의 좀 솔직한 모습이나 저도 감사한 생각을 한번 할 수 있게 되는 것 같아요. 오늘 촬영도 이렇게 진행하고 얘기 들으면서 저는 정말 이 방탄다락에 제가 이걸 하고 있다는 것 자체가 너무 혜택을 받았고 나는 되게 감사하고 행복한 사람이라고 생각을 하면서 또 이렇게 좋은 우리 멤버들이랑 도와주시는 스태프분들이랑 사랑한다는 말을
형님 사랑해.
사랑해.
하고 싶네요. 사랑해.
이게
Such a good speaker.
You know, the other thing that they recognized that these kinds of talks are beneficial.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I got to do another shoot today. They're saying these talks basically are helping them grow and unite as a group.
Yeah.
And they're learning about each other. It's very therapeutic, actually, as group cohesiveness goes. I mean, they're grateful for having the opportunity to do this shoot.
Yeah, there's double incentive here. There's multiple incentives for them here. It's like we get to grow together and we get to share this message with the fans. We get to share our gratitude.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on here.
저는 이거를 정말 1년에 한두 번 정도 찍잖아요. 근데 저는 이런 촬영에 되게 만족을 하는 게 저희가 평소에 인터뷰를 하면은 진솔한 인터뷰를 하면은 한 명씩 들어가서 촬영을 하잖아요.
그죠.
그래서 다른 친구들의 속마음을 잘 몰라요.
맞아요.
근데 이런 촬영을 통해 이 친구들은 이런 생각을 하는구나 라는 그런 생각이 들어서 굉장히 좋은 촬영이라고 생각해요. 그래서 이 자리를 만들어준 사람들에게 너무 고맙고 제작진들에게 너무 고맙고
He gets it too. Jin gets it. He might not come across like he gets it. He might come across as a goofball, but he gets it.
What's really cool about this is that they're saying, we need to do more of this because this really helps us. This is good for us, you know, because we want to be good for you. So we want to make sure we're all together and we're giving you our best.
Yeah. Just acknowledging that and understanding the importance of coming together is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. I mean, there's a lot of people we're talking about here. Try to do this with a marriage with just two people.
Right.
This is like extreme.
That's a good point.
Extremely open growth and maturity here. So,
all right.
Incredible.
Incredible. Yeah.
아까도 얘기했지만 저는 이제 작년 말부터 해서 되게 현재가 너무 중요하다는 생각을 많이 했고 또 지내오면서 되게 지금이 너무 좋다는 생각을 요즘 매일 하고 살아요. 근데 이거를 얘기를 하는 거하고 안 하는 거하고 고마움을 표현하는 거하고 안 하는 거하고 되게 차이가 크다고 생각하는데 뭔가 멤버들한테 이런 얘기를 꺼낼 수 있는 자리를 만들어준 게 항상 이런 촬영들인 것 같아서 그게 이런 촬영들이 너무 고맙고 또 소중하다고 생각이 많이 들고 네 그런 걸 많이 느꼈었습니다.
Very, very important comment there coming from him.
From Jimin, yeah.
I'm getting a sense now that he's just sort of maybe a little more on the quiet side, but very comfortable with himself. Because he talks about how happy he is and how satisfying his life is with what he's doing. And he feels like he's in the right place right now in his life.
I think the guys bring him a lot of joy too. He just loves being around his brothers over here. I always get that sense from him. He really loves just being around them.
Every single one of these guys has used the word grateful today at some level. Grateful. And that is something. I mean, you know, to share that sense of gratitude just tells you that, you know, it's worth following these guys. Like if you want to follow them, then you're following some really good people here. And not just from a performing standpoint, but you know, character-wise, exactly. Yeah.
Why gratitude? Why is gratitude the thing that you say this is a good decision on ARMY part to follow people who share this sort of feeling of gratitude?
Yeah, sure. What gratitude does by making you appreciate what you have makes you feel like you've got something important and meaningful in your life. All of these guys, we're talking about how happy a place they are in and being part of BTS. There wasn't any kind of, you know, equivocation. You know, they weren't like, there's some parts I like, some parts but they're thinking, I'm so grateful for being here. So yes, gratitude makes you focus on what's meaningful in your life and what's positive in your life. And when you make that happen for yourself, if you direct your thoughts in that fashion, that'll create or at least contribute to making you happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
So just to make bring it all back around. Why ARMY should be following a group of people who express this gratitude based on what you're saying is these guys are good role models. If you're looking to follow people who, you know, if you want to live a happier life, essentially is what you're saying, these are good guys to follow because gratitude seems to be one of the cornerstones in who they are as people and what they express as people, right? And that's a good image to follow.
Very good.
Right.
Well, that's one of the things.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
when you mention role models, I think that's
Yeah.
a perfect description of them, Maxwell, because they talk about things not just in terms of appreciation, which is a very important, but you hear them talk about their personal growth. And these guys made a very good point of trying to understand who they were and understand how they've made changes. So they're trying to understand themselves as a group, trying to understand themselves as individuals, and as a result, they're going to grow into healthy, productive, successful people.
Yes.
Even if they weren't with BTS.
Yes.
That's the point. That's all about them, and that's
Yeah.
solid character.
Solid character.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
good guys to follow in that way, for
Very
sure.
much so,
For
yeah.
sure. You heard it from the man himself. One second.
I love you.
I love you.
그런 부분에서 되게 고맙다고
Grateful.
생각합니다.
There you go. There's that word.
사랑해.
그래.
사랑해.
제작진도 사랑해.
사랑해.
자 여러분, 이제 저희가 방탄식 때처럼 다 같이 이 보노보노 주스와 함께 이제 건배사를 할 예정인데요.
네.
일단 네 따라주시고
저는
오늘의
지금
건배사
하자.
정말 우리 방탄에서 가장 멋있는 사람 바로 전정국이
확실해요?
선창을 하자. 네가 다
건배사를
정해놓고
우리
네가
해줄
건배사를
겁니다.
정하고 네가 선창을 하면 우리가 그 초청을 할게.
마지막에 사랑해 하면서 끝냅시다.
자
자, 건배사.
하고 제가
사랑해
사랑해 하겠습니다. 외쳐주시고 제가 사랑해 하겠습니다.
와 사랑해였어. 와 사랑해.
와 사랑해.
편집 잘 될 거야.
사랑해.
There you go. There you go. With these guys, I think that's probably what brings them closer too. The fact that they're able to express themselves openly and just honestly say, I love you. You know, although they're a little embarrassed at times, like, I love you. You're the man. You're awesome.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you. You do this really well.
Right.
I really appreciate you doing this. Like, that bonds people too. And the fact that they can be so open with each other, there's no question in my mind, that's part of what brings them so close.
You're
Together.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like these
Exactly.
guys live in the moment, man. It's not like, oh, you know, we've got to run off to Berlin here
Right.
for our next concert.
Right.
I'm right here in the moment,
Right.
and we're talking about stuff that's really important, and it's important because it's going to make us better as
Exactly.
a group. What also impressed me too, Maxwell, is the fact that everybody contributed. And
In
it was
a meaningful way.
In a meaningful way, and
Yeah.
it was wanted. It was like it was asked for. What do
Yeah.
you think? Where are
Yeah.
you at? You know,
They all wanted to hear from each other, genuinely.
Right.
They all wanted to
Right,
hear from each
right.
other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that about them.
I'm so happy we did this. I'm so happy
Me
we
too.
checked this out. So guys, that's me and Uncle Harley. Really enjoyed that one. I'm so happy we got Uncle Harley to watch a Festa. Guys, if you want to watch our uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to our Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Other than that, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you soon.
Love sharing with you guys. See you, Army.
Peace.
Nice.